this hotel specifically has the top awards of any other hotel in the Americas, right? Of any other brand, has the most. And that can be taken in a moment. I tell my colleagues, it's one thing to earn them, it's a terrible thing to ever lose them.
I think the prevailing attitude amongst myself and my colleagues is the answer is yes. Now, what's the question?
Thank you very much.
We get all kinds of crazy requests. In New York, we spelled out, will you marry me in bed sheets in Central Park. It took like 15 people to do. A guest had forgotten his dress shoes. Our concierge took his shoes off because they were the same size. I myself have pulled off a tie.
You name it, we do it, as long as it's ethical and moral. I mean, one example, a guest wanted to propose to his fiancée. I got a professional harp player. We had the candles, the rose petals on the floor.
Did she say yes?
She didn't say anything, but I think that's okay too, though. Exactly. I'm a good concierge. I'm not that good.
I think what's interesting about our industry in hospitality is that you're totally exposed. You know, you can't hide it. You can't. I'm not selling a product and then walking away from you tomorrow. You're living it.
And I want everyone who crosses our path to come in here to feel at home. I want them, when I say to them, welcome home, and their face lights up, it means a lot. It really means a lot.
Well, customer experience is all what we're about here. You know, I have a building and it's pretty and it's great and it has all the amenities that I could sell. But at the end of the day, it's still people helping people.
It's just part of my life. That's how I see it, you know? And I'm not just a concierge here, I'm a concierge all the time.
It's just treating others how you want to be treated yourself. The golden rule is so simple, but I think it's applicable in all business.
If you can't have fun in what you do, then you probably shouldn't be in this industry in the first place. And I love what I do. I love my job.
Well, I have some customers who want like a double tall, half decaf, non-fat, 1 raw sugar, green tea frappuccino.
1 coffee beans into the frappuccino.
Java chip frappuccino with a splash of peppermint. Vanilla latte with no foam for a little bit of frappuccino, then more caramel sauce, and then more frappuccino and more caramel sauce. Carrying a smile all the way through when you have like 35 drinks on your bar and you're the only barista. How awesome is that, right? It's just like, it keeps going. I want a raspberry hot chocolate today with 2 pumps of mocha, 1 pump of raspberry, 2.5 pumps of vanilla.
Us humans have a natural need to feel engaged and connected. And that's really where the brand started from. When Howard was over in Italy, and the neighborhood baristas, you know, on every corner there's a little coffee shop where people just pop in very casually. And every day it's a ritual. And it's really maybe not necessarily just about the coffee. It's really more about the sense of community and a sense of belonging and a sense of engagement.
We've done insights with our customers, and they've told us when they see a positive culture behind the counter, they want to stay longer and enjoy it because they see this reflection of a positive environment in the store, and that really starts with the baristas behind the counter.
Okay, I'll tell you a specific story. It was in North Carolina. We were moving a store from one side of the street to the other side of the street, and there was a customer waiting to talk to me when I showed up there to visit the store, and he explained to me that he was quite upset about us moving the store because he had met his wife at that Starbucks store, and they had come there every morning for a cup of coffee every single day for 15 years. And she had recently passed away from cancer 2 months ago. And his story to me was, when you move this store, you're taking a piece of my family and my life away. And he asked, it was an emotional moment. He said, when you guys moved the store, could I have the table and the chair? And we went, well, absolutely. Would you like both chairs? So these places of belonging and a sense of community is really important to people.
Older customer who comes in all the time, and he's like a grandpa, like to me, because, you know, he's just so sweet. And he's like, you know, you always take care of me, and I just so appreciate that. And that really touched me, because my grandparents are no longer, you know, they're not alive. And sometimes we look for those figures, you know? And so he's just so sweet. He's just so sweet.
The concept of it's one store, it's one neighborhood, it's one customer, it's one cup of coffee at a time is still very much the core of who we are.
I think it was Mr. Bruce Nordstrom who said it's not really us who train our people, it's their parents who train them. We just hire them.
It's all about making sure that you leave here with this great feeling that, you just kind of hung out with a friend or you have a new buddy now at Nordstrom. You can get underwear anywhere. I mean, please, Calvin Klein underwear, where can you not buy that? They're coming to see me.
I started when I was 10 or 11 years old, coming down on Saturdays with my dad and worked in the stockrooms, and he paid me out of his pocket because he said I wasn't good enough to be on the payroll. The room was bigger than me, but I spent most of my time in the shoe division, which is our roots, and so being on our hands and knees, measuring someone's feet, listening to the customer, it keeps you grounded pretty easily.
It starts with the fact that there are really no rules here at Nordstrom. The only rule is use your best judgment.
To that customer, I want them to feel like this was my only sale of the day. This is the only thing that I'm gonna do is have this experience with you.
We think the excitement or the magic is getting out of the way of our people and providing an environment and the tools that they can shine in front of their customers.
We can hire nice people and teach them how to sell, but we can't hire great sellers and teach them how to be nice.
I had a gentleman once, he was flying to the Bahamas. Now, the gentleman came in, he was about 6'4", about 300 pounds, and he had a bag this huge. And I said to him, sir, I'm very sorry, you're gonna have to check your bag because it doesn't fit into the overhead bin. He said to me, are you kidding me? I'm looking at the guy. Well, go ahead, take my bag, get off my face. I'm like, sir, thank you, I appreciate your cooperation. The man took a nap for about an hour. He got up, and I said, good morning. He looked at me, and he finally cracked a smile. And I said to him, can I offer you a drink? Better yet, can I offer you a cocktail? It's on the house. And he smiled, and I tell you, I felt so great. And I say to myself, this is why I love my job, because you turn a bad thing into a good thing.
It's bringing humanity back to air travel. We have airplanes, so we're an airline. But don't compare yourself to the rest of the industry as an airline, because the benchmark is pretty low in terms of customer service. And so when you start to think about inspiring humanity, it can't just be the airplane. It's the human side. It's our people that bring the experience to life.
A customer was coming in, and I was just checking in as regular, and we're just having a really good conversation, and she just starts crying out of nowhere. And I asked her, I said, why are you crying? She said, I'm going to meet my son, who I haven't seen in 2 years. And she had let me know that he's coming back from Iraq. And that completely touched me. I couldn't even help myself but to go over to her and just give her a great big hug. And we're just standing in the middle of the terminal hugging each other.
It's the old adage, which is so true. Screen for the aptitude, but higher attitude, right? And so people truly understanding, hey, this is what we're looking to do. This is what we're all about.
We often say that the customer may not think about us at every moment of the day, but it's our job to think about them throughout their day and throughout every day. We can be part of some of the most important moments and some of the most difficult moments, and that's a great responsibility. Our corporate mission is to be the world's most respected service brand. And so that has to permeate throughout everything that we do, from designing the product to the marketing that we deliver to an individual customer, and then of course, most of all, to the customer care that we give through every interaction. It's different for us not having a physical space or a product that you drive around in. Yeah. So we have to make sure that every interaction counts, because the thing that we do have that's wonderful is people will pull our card out, we hope several times every day. And that can mean something to them. We believe that for many of our competitors, it's just a transaction, but we certainly hope and trust that for our customers, it is a chance to remember an affinity with a brand that they're proud of and that they care about.
if a woman walks down the street and she drops her scarf, for example, the person who is going to run after the woman picks up the scarf and gives it to the woman. That's the person we want to hire. Somebody who would do that not for you know, any like financial advantage or personal gain, nothing. Just because in their heart they feel like this is the right thing to do.
Our patron saint is Miles Davis, and one of the things he's most famous for is his improvisation. And some of his most remarkable recordings were done in one take because they couldn't be recreated. And we kind of look at each table as one perfect take. Each interaction, each exchange, each transaction is unique. It can't be typified, it can't be recreated, and it's got to be personal and in the moment.
The people that come through here are so varied, but if you can find one thing that links you to that person, it suddenly becomes a personal experience. You know, just picking up on a life event, it's birthday, how many years, or it's an anniversary, and you know, where did you get married, and why are you celebrating with, you know, just asking these questions that connect you with somebody personally, it's incredibly powerful, and it's astounding how many people you can actually find a link to. Sometimes very small and sometimes quite enormous.
We hire amazing people and then let them kind of be themselves, right? Because the more they are themselves, the more the guest feels comfortable.
What we talk about the greatest success of waiting on a table is when they're moved to tears of joy. Not that that will happen at every table, but always to be happy. We ask a lot of their pocket, we ask a lot of their time. And for that, they should be satiated, enjoying what they're eating and those kind of things, but further, to feel loved and cared for, to feel the warm hug of hospitality in so many ways, and to have that be the lasting impression.
I love what I do. And that is the biggest gift I have. And I feel like the luckiest person in the world because of that. I get up in the morning and I want to come to work every single day. And that is, you know, that's gold.
Our amazing brand, you know, the inventor of the car brings with it so many advantages, but it brings with it also such high expectations. I think great organizations are humble enough to know that they don't have all the answers, and wherever we can learn from someone else, and whether that's a five-star chef, or whether that's an amazing hotel, or whether that's a great cup of coffee delivered in a highly stylized and customized way, we're happy to go to school on any one of those brands. I believe 100% that we're on the way, that we're focusing our energy and our culture and our people and our resources around this issue. It's not a question of if we get there, it's a question of when, how long it takes us, and how high that customer experience bar will be when we set it. Imagine harnessing the power of 24,000 minds and hearts towards delivering that amazing experience. If we can engage them at that level, I really do believe we can kind of rewrite what we're doing here.